Welcome, fans. In this video, I'll be talking about how to uh, how to create a code for an Arduino board to test if an input is a palindrome. So a palindrome is something that looks like this. Something like dy is not a palindrome. But if I have something like 1, 2, 1, that is a palindrome because if I reverse that string, in this case, all of my variables are strings. They're all local variables. So let's say if I have a string 1 to 1 and I reverse it, it will be 1 to 1. But let's say I have something like LPK. If I reverse, it's gonna be KPL. So that's not a palindrome. But if I have something like A, that is a palindrome. Something like AA, that is also a palindrome because if I reverse it, it's AA. Because if you look what I'll do, so the way that I did it is I first I take out any non-alphanumeric characters from the input and I store it in a variable called process string. It's a string variable. Then what I do is I print the original string and I print the process string, and you can see here PP. And then what I do is I I process the string to reverse. In other words, I reverse what I process and I store it in the variable called reverse string. Then then what I do is I output both both the reverse and the original. I'm gonna take this out right now so that way I don't get to see that right now too many times. What I'll do is and then once it's reversed, what I do is I check whether the original string, the original input is equal to the reverse string. If that's the case, then it is a palindrome. If it's not a palindrome, if it's that's not the case, then we output is not a palindrome. For example, here PP, it is a palindrome. And then white P is not a palindrome. So I'm gonna clear the zero monitor, and then I'm going to do something like hello wall. So a space is not alphanumeric, so I had to take that off. Let's see if it compiles. So it did compile. So now I'm going to upload it. And it tells me it's not a palindrome. And it's correct because hello world is not a palindrome. But let's say I have something like I age or something like that. That should be a palindrome because if I reverse this, it's gonna be high IH. So let's see if it works. So once I upload, it will compile. Okay, so I'm just going to save some time. So it's uploading. It says not a palindrome. Let's see why it's not a palindrome. So let me clear this out and let's see what happens. Okay. So let me see. I'm going to output. Let's see that process string. Let's see. So the process was high, so not a palindrome. Okay. What happens is that I know what happens because in this case, I have a space, so it's not going to match the original string. So basically, what I can do is I can turn the. So what we will do is instead of having that, instead of having the original string left like that, what I'll do is I take the original string, and I assign the new string after being processed without any what do you call non-alphanumeric character, and that should do the work. And I'm gonna need a space here because I don't want to be creating so that paint. And then what I'll do is I'll put it here. Then I'll do the same thing for that part for the elves. Let's see if we compiled. Yes. So I'm going to erase this one and let's upload it. So it is a pair. Now this time is correct. So now let's do something like let's test again something like 1, 2, 1. Let's upload it. That should be a palindrome because if I reverse it, it's the same thing. So it is a palindrome. Look at the last line. Now let me check. Let's find a more difficult one. But I have a list here, something like. Let's say something like this. A man, a plant, a panel, and then Panama. So if I reverse, it's gonna be A M A, and then A M A, then N, then A, then P, then so this should be a palindrome. If I take out the commas and the spaces, and I lowercase everything, and let's see. I think I have to add I have to lowercase everything. Let's see. Yes, I have to lowercase everything. So let's see if I can do it here. Two lowercase. Let's see. There it is. And then here I have to do here two lowercase. Actually, let's do it here, maybe. Let's do it here as well. Original and also process string, I have the one that I just processed to only alphanumeric, I have to lowercase. Let's see if it compiles. No. So I think I don't need this process here. So what I'll do is let's see if this works. Yes, let me see process string, and then I'll do it. Okay, so I mean a canal Panama. Let's see. That should be a palindrome, but let's see. Let's see if I upload it. Let's go to serial mode. Okay, let me erase everything and then let's upload it again so that way we know that we have the right thing. So it is a palindrome, you see? It took out all the spaces, all the commas and everything to lowercase, and then it checked for palindrome, and then it did said it is a palindrome. For example, let's do another one. Race car. Race car should be a palindrome. Or what we can say is something to, in other words, to make sure that we're getting the right thing, we can say something like original string plus, let's say original string plus, we can say is not. So then here we can say, and we have to leave a space here before, so that way it's neatly done. Okay, so now let's compile, and then we don't have to worry about what's there or what is not there. Now let's upload it. It's clear that see, it's a palindrome, it's not a palindrome. Let's upload it. So it does a race car is a palindrome, so it is correct. Now let's do one more. Let's do Python. So it says Python is not a palindrome, and that is correct because if I reverse it, it's not a palindrome. Let's say I do something like no space, and then in quotes I put X, and then I say in Nixon. That should be a palindrome. Let's upload it and see what happens. So everything is wrong in the. So it says no, non-Nixon is a palindrome. Yes, everything is being run in the Arduino board. Let's say something like Abel was I, comma I saw Elba. That should be a palindrome too. Let's see. Abel was a is a palindrome, so that is correct. Then we do something like step on our beds. That is not a palindrome. So let's see what the board says. Okay. So it step on no beds. Step on no beds. That is a palindrome. So that is correct. I'm sorry, that is a palindrome, yes. Let's do the last one. Okay, so let's do this. Let's see if the word palindrome is a palindrome. So this shouldn't be a palindrome. So let's test it. Let's look at the palindrome. It's not a palindrome. So that's all I wanted to teach you on this video on the Arduino board. And I hope you liked it and subscribe. So let's look at the, so let me show you the code how it looks. I only have a loop, an empty loop method. So what I did first, I turned everything to alphanumeric. Then what I did is I lowercase that process string. Then what I do is I reverse the string. And then at the last step, I check whether the original string is equal to the reverse string. If that's the case, it is a palindrome. If it's not the case, then it's not a palindrome. And I output those statements. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. See you next time. See you soon.